You saw a baby bird alone on the ground. Maybe it had fallen from a nest. Maybe it was sitting beneath a tree, helpless and exposed. Maybe a cat was nearby, or traffic, or some other danger that made you feel you had to do something. So you helped. You picked it up, moved it to safety, placed it back in a tree, or carried it away from immediate danger. Then you walked away feeling good about what you had done. But there is a part of that story most people never think about. The parents were probably watching. Not later, not eventually, right then, from a nearby branch. A rooftop, a hidden spot in the leaves, watching everything. And the question is fascinating. What exactly did they think about you? Welcome back to Backyard Bird Mind. Today we are exploring what parent birds may actually be thinking when a human helps one of their babies, how birds interpret human behavior, and why the answer is far more complicated than simply gratitude or fear. Number 1. The parent birds probably saw everything. One of the biggest misconceptions people have about baby birds is that the parents have disappeared. In reality, that is often not true at all. Researchers studying songbirds repeatedly observe parents monitoring fledglings from nearby cover. A young bird may appear abandoned, but the adults are often watching from a distance. The reason is simple. Baby birds need room to learn. A fledgling hopping awkwardly through grass may look helpless to a human. To its parents, it may simply be going through a normal stage of development. The adults stay nearby, watching, listening, waiting for signs of danger. Which means when a human approaches, the parents frequently know about it immediately. Before you touch the bird, before you kneel down, before you decide what to do, they are already paying attention. Number 2. Your intentions did not matter at first. Humans often evaluate situations through intention. We know when we are trying to help. Birds do not have access to that information. From the parent's perspective, all they initially see is a giant creature approaching their vulnerable offspring. And in nature, that is usually bad news. Researchers studying nesting birds have found that adults respond strongly to anything approaching their young. Humans, cats, dogs, other birds. Potential danger receives attention immediately. The parent birds cannot read your thoughts. They cannot know your plan. At first, they react to the same thing any wild animal reacts to: risk. This is why some birds call loudly when humans approach. Others become silent. Some perform distraction displays. Others remain hidden while monitoring events carefully. Their first conclusion is not that you are helping. Their first conclusion is that something large and unpredictable is near their baby. Number 3. Birds judge actions, not emotions. This is where the story becomes interesting. While birds cannot understand human intentions directly, they can observe outcomes. What happened after you approached? Did you harm the chick? Did you carry it away? Did you place it somewhere safer? Did the danger disappear afterward? Researchers studying bird cognition have discovered that many species are excellent observers of cause and effect. They pay attention to results, patterns, consequences, and that means the parent birds were not only watching what you did, they were watching what happened next. Because once the immediate fear passed, another question began forming. Was this human a threat, or something far more difficult to understand? But once the immediate fear passed, another question began forming. Was this human a threat, or something far more difficult to understand? Number 4. The parents may have stayed closer than you realized. Most people assume that once they walk away, the story is over. For the parent birds, it is often just beginning. Researchers studying fledgling behavior have found that adult birds frequently continue monitoring their young from hidden locations. They do not always rush in immediately. Sometimes they wait, watching, assessing, making sure the danger is truly gone. This means that after you left, the parents may have spent several minutes studying the exact situation you created. Was the chick injured? Was it safe? Could they approach again? To a human, moving a baby bird a few feet might seem insignificant. To the parents, it completely changed the environment around their offspring, and they needed to understand what happened. Number 5. Some birds remember specific humans. This is where things become surprisingly personal. For many years, scientists underestimated bird memory. Now we know much better. Crows can remember human faces for years. Mockingbirds recognize people who repeatedly approach their nests. Even smaller birds can learn to distinguish between familiar and unfamiliar humans. That does not mean the parents knew your name, but it does mean they may have remembered something about you. Your face, your movements, your behavior around the chick. To birds, experiences become information, and information that affects survival tends to be remembered, especially when young birds are involved. Number 6. The parents were making a decision about you. Not a human decision, a bird decision. One based entirely on observation. The parent birds watched what happened. A large creature approached their baby. The baby survived. The danger may have decreased. The chick may even have ended up in a safer location than before. Again, the birds could not understand your intentions, but they could observe consequences. Researchers studying bird intelligence have repeatedly found that many species are capable of evaluating outcomes and adjusting future behavior accordingly. The parents were collecting information, noticing patterns, adding one more experience to everything they already knew about the world around them. And in that moment, you became part of the story. Number 7. What happened after you walked away matters most. This is the part people rarely consider. The moment you helped the bird feels important because you were there to witness it. But the parents witnessed something else. What happened next? Did the chick continue calling? Did it survive the day? Did it reunite with the adults? Did feeding continue normally? Those outcomes mattered far more than the brief interaction itself. To the birds, survival is the only score that matters. Everything else is secondary. And if the chick survived because of what happened, the event became something unusual. A situation where a giant, unpredictable animal entered the story and did not behave like a predator. The parent birds may never have understood why. They may never have understood what you were trying to do, but they understood the result. The baby was still there, still alive, still calling, still part of the family. Most people walk away from these encounters believing the birds forgot about them immediately. Perhaps they did, perhaps they did not. What we know for certain is that the parent birds were watching far more closely than most people realize. Studying, evaluating, learning, just as birds have always done. And the next time you see a baby bird on the ground and wonder whether its parents are nearby, remember this: there is a good chance they are already watching from somewhere you cannot see. And if they are, you may not be the only one trying to figure out what is happening. The parents might be trying to figure out you as well. And that raises a fascinating question. When the birds watched you help their baby, did they see a threat that unexpectedly walked away? Or did they witness something in the natural world that made no sense to them at all?